What's up, everybody? Welcome to Friendship Frequency. This is a podcast where we talk about our real life struggles and what has worked for us. We get vulnerable and discuss our everyday lives, and we invite you to go on this journey to better yourself right along with us. I'm Tab Johnson.
And I'm Aaron Winhorn.
And this is who we are, and this is what we do. Hola, hola.
Hola, my friend.
How goes it?
It was good.
Yeah?
It's good. Worked in Seattle today. Traffic was light because of people are still off for the holidays.
Right. It's almost like COVID traffic.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah. It was nice. It was 55 minutes on the way home and
Yep.
45 this morning on the way.
Yep. I went to Seattle Tuesday and I left the gym at like 6:15 and I was in Seattle at my desk before 7 o'clock. I was like, dang, this is amazing.
Yeah. People like my brother-in-law that work for the convention center that they basically get the whole month off.
We clearly picked the wrong jobs.
I know, right? We need to go work for like maybe Microsoft or some shit like that.
Shout out in case you're hiring. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is our first recording after the new year.
Right.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you too. And everybody out there.
It's wild to think that we're in 2025.
Right.
Wild. I was writing the date at work today, and of course I messed that up 15 times. So, had to fix that. It'll be almost 2026 before I get my life together as far as that goes.
Right. I haven't had to write the date yet, so I might get it confused. I will have to tomorrow though, because I'll be signing some papers to move. So
Exciting.
yeah.
Yeah. So, with it being the new year, I think, and you and I are not people that necessarily make resolutions, the new year, new me, I think that's kind of cliche. And, you and I had this conversation yesterday about we should have goals all year long. I definitely agree. But I will say for a lot of people, the new year is a chance to kind of reset, start over, reflect back on the year that just passed and, kind of gauge where you want to go and what that looks like for people and, just a chance to reset and get back on track or whatever your, goals are for the new year. And so I think that's something we should address because I definitely have some for sure.
Right.
And I think it's just a time where people kind of reflect on the year that passed and is your life looking like you want it to? What changes do you want to make? So, what about you? Do you have any specific goals for 2025 that you would like? We won't call them resolutions per se. We'll call them goals for us.
I mean, definitely say that my life is not necessarily wanted where I would like it.
Yeah, please rephrase, please.
There definitely can be some room for improvement, but yeah, I don't like to set resolutions because most of the time I never stick to them. So, I just set. For me, I've learned to set like small goals that are obtainable rather than like set some huge goal,
right,
and fail at it. So I set these small goals that I can easily achieve and just keep setting more. That's key to keep setting more goals because I don't know. I'd like to be more consistent and not like be on the train and off the train, on the train, off the train. Just like to have that consistency.
I think that one's an awesome one. That one's a really good one. I think when you use the word resolution, because it's been so commercialized and just overused in general with around the
Yeah.
new year, it almost sets you up for failure
Yeah.
when you have that resolution mindset like that. And I agree. I think if you bite off small pieces and give yourself a timeline, and it's smaller and more bite-sized, it's definitely more attainable.
Yeah.
Then I want to run 50 miles this year or whatever your goal is. Dude,
Hmm.
listen, I think about 50 miles and want to drop dead.
Right.
So I'm going to run 1 mile at a time. I'm going to do. And I think so much of that is your mindset, and how, for me, so much of it is my mindset and how I go into it, and having the honest conversation with myself of, okay, is this realistic? Is it attainable? Or am I like setting myself up to fail?
Yeah.
And it's a some listen, sometimes it's a hard conversation. Like, it is, because you have to get real honest with yourself and wherever you are, and just be realistic about it. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I
I know I
agree.
don't like to be realistic sometimes, but
Preach, my brother, preach. That is, yeah, same. Same Z's. Mine are, and you and I have talked about this, I want to get better at my work life balance. Work is probably the thing that derails me the most often. The stress and you know, just the pressures and stuff like that. So I want to get better at my work life balance, and my recovery is, it hasn't been put back on the back burner, but I go through these periods of like, oh, everything's great, blah, 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 everything's rainbows and butterflies. And that's kind of when my recovery gets pushed to the side as not
Yeah.
necessarily a priority. And so I'll be going through rainbows and butterflies, and all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, it'll hit me. I just come through an episode of where, listen,
Yeah.
I was ready to burn buildings down, and I couldn't get that overwhelming sense of unrest. Like, I could not, and it just created this anger.
Yeah.
So I know that has to be a priority this year. Um,
Yeah. For me, my recovery's paramount. It has to be number one and has to remain number one, no matter
mhm,
whether it's rainbows and butterflies, because I know that if I don't have some kind of spiritual connection,
mhm,
all hell's going to break loose. And that's like that thing where people, you know, pray to God or whatever when the situation's horrible and you're like, please God, get me out of this,
mhm.
you know. And then when all is good, stop doing the stuff that worked.
Dude, that's me, textbook, 100%,
Right.
100%. And I even shared that, like, it's difficult for me to find that connection sometimes, and but you're right. When stuff is crazy, like, I'm the first one to be like, please. And I find myself living outside of gratitude in those moments. And then it brings on a whole new set of guilt and shame and blah, blah. I mean, the list goes on, people. And so I really want to make that connection this year. I really want to get grounded in that. This past episode was like, it didn't, I don't, it was different because I wasn't all emotional and all of that. I was just straight mad, just straight angry. There was no crying or any of that. It was just, I don't even know how to describe it. And work triggered it. I know what triggered it, but then a whole slew of other crap came up, and I was like, what the hell is going on? So I definitely want to get grounded in that. And you know, make that a priority this year and, just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm super consistent with working out and I'm super consistent with the eating, not so much tracking. We've had that discussion too. I got back on that train today though. But I'm super consistent in that stuff and listen, I've been doing it since October and I'm super super proud of myself for that. Like working out at the gym, and if I can't get to the gym, then I work out at home. And I haven't been that consistent in working out and taking the time to do that for myself in probably 24 years. So I'm super, super proud of myself for that. And,
That's awesome.
just get more, just,
Centered,
yeah, freaking be okay with taking a breath every now and then. The world's not going to fall apart if I do,
right?
contrary to popular belief.
It's not good.
Just kidding.
It's not gonna Work's not gonna fall apart if you don't respond to an email or answer a phone.
I mean, it might, but I have to get to a point where I'm okay with that. So
Yeah.
it just is what it is. And we always hear and see the things, I would, I've, I've said it before on different episodes of I'd kill myself for my job and they'll have me replaced tomorrow. So I have to keep that in my pocket. Like I have to really, really keep that in my pocket. So yeah, it's super exciting. Like to be able to have that opportunity and to reset and kind of get a new mindset around it. So I'm looking forward to it. I know it's going to be difficult. I do know that. I'm not, naive in that, but I am looking forward to it. And I am giving myself grace when I need to. So, yeah.
Hard times is what makes us stronger.
Yeah. And that was kind of my reflection for 2024 was it was a rough year for us. And I say us because we both went through a pretty nasty like mindset there for a little while. And we started working on the house again. And I don't know what it is about painting, but I'm painting and like everything like rolls through your mind. Like, listen, if I could change the world by painting, look, I got it. Don't worry.
All
Like
right.
I can do it. As I'm painting this gray on the walls and like, I said this to you, like it was a rough year for us. And there were some days I didn't want to be here. And it was all mindset stuff. And I know that. But when you're in the thick of it, like I really didn't want to be here. And thank God I had enough sense to reach out and talk to you or talk to, in my recovery or whatever. And just work through that because I had to go through that to be where I'm at right now. And I know that I had to release that stuff. And so I am super grateful for those hard times. And it makes the
Yeah.
good times even better.
Right. And the reality is, let's be honest, like everybody goes through it.
Yeah.
You know, people may wonder, like, or think that we're strong for coming on publicly and talking about the struggles that we go through. But Tabitha and I both understand that, like, us talking about the stuff we go through, one, it helps us. I mean, if we keep it
Yeah.
inside, it's
Yeah.
only going to fester and get worse. But two,
Facts.
that we know other people go through this, and us talking about it can give other people hope
Yeah.
that there is a way and they don't have to stay stuck that way,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Just the conversation around it in general. Can we all just agree that 2025 we're going to normalize conversations around mindset and mental health and, you know, things like this that people battle every day and hopefully give people the inspiration or courage to stand up and talk about your own because I'm telling you someone else is going through it around you whether you know it or not. And listen, I'm a professional at masking and hiding. Professional. But you have to talk about it and you have to get it out in the open and it be okay and create that safe space, because someone else needs to hear your story. Someone else needs to know that they're not the only one in the world going through it, and that there is hope on the other side. So that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Like, ultimately. So,
And me being a guy, I mean, there's that stigma out there that guys don't talk about their
yes.
feelings.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, Tabitha's kind of more like a guy on the aspect of she's kind of like us. It's like we don't talk about it, but
Damn
just
it, Aaron.
know that.
Damn it.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it is like, why hold that shit in? Because it's only going to get worse. And, talking about it is not easy, but it's worth it in the end. So I encourage everybody to talk about it with somebody. Whether you have a Tabitha or you find a counselor.
Or Aaron, if you have an Aaron.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
Or
the reason, it's my whole life I've been told I was dramatic. Imagine that. I know. Shocker.
shocker.
And people that know me personally, I literally, well, if you've watched the podcast or you've listened to the podcast, you've seen it. My heart is on the outside all the time. And I can get super emotional at the drop of a hat. And so I've always been told that I'm too emotional, or I'm too dramatic, I'm too this, I'm too that. So to deal with that, the reason it's hard for me to talk about it is because I get so emotional talking about it. So I just stopped so I didn't have to hear that anymore. And then in our side business, Jesse Lee told me that that was my superpower. And now, listen, I get emotional because I care. I get emotional because I love people. I get emotional because I don't ever want anybody to feel the pain or your feelings hurt or whatever the way that I feel it. So, yeah, I am emotional and I am dramatic and I'm all those things. But I promise you, I will love you more than you probably love yourself. And I don't even know you. And it's possible because that's just who I am. And I'm okay with that now. And if you don't like it, you can kiss my ass. Just kidding. Kind of.
Or get fucked, Karen.
Yeah. When we got on, Aaron was like, "You see my hat? Do you know what that means?" I'm like, GK. Nope. He told me, I was like, "Oh, I need that t shirt." Yeah. I think it's a good time to just kind of reevaluate. Like me, I'm a write it down list kind of person. And, it just helps me get clarity, I think, more than anything, because I can go on a tangent. So having it in physically on a piece of paper, being able to touch it, feel it, see it, helps me just kind of stay where I want to be. And if I veer to the left or right, whatever, I can always come back. And so if you're a list person or you like to see, touch, and feel, write a list. Put a list on your phone. Whatever, works for you. We have a friend that has stuff all over her mirror, like written all over her mirror. And I love that. Every time we go to her house, I love going to the bathroom because it's on the mirror. So, whatever works for you. And it's about you. It's not about anybody else. It doesn't have to be okay with anybody else. Other people don't have to understand it. It's not for them, it's for you. It's for me. So, you know, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Right.
So,
I always see those ads for better health. Is it better
yeah.
health or better help? Shout out better
The
health.
Yeah, help, I think. Better help. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Shout out better health.
Yeah, there's
We're
a
down for a
few of them,
sponsorship.
right?
Yeah.
Better help.
It's better.
Talkspace. Talkspace is another one. And it's super convenient because it's virtual. So it fits into your schedule. And if you don't connect with your therapist, the one that they give you originally, you can trade in for a new one. It's, I've heard a lot of good things. I was on Talkspace. My therapist was on Talkspace. Her and I did as much as we could together, and then she recommended my recovery program. So that's where I'm at now. But, I know several people that have done it and, have had a lot of success with it. So that's always a resource for sure. What else? What else we got for the new year? You got any? What about like fun goals, like travel or bucket list?
I definitely like to travel, but I'm not too sure that it's in the cards for this year.
Dude, when I look back at 2024, we traveled a lot.
We did.
A lot. And I didn't realize it until Jason was like, look at this credit card statement. I was like, who did that?
Yeah. Well,
So,
I think 2023 into 2024, like for me, I think my last trip was April. You took several trips after that.
yeah.
Uh, when I went to Hawaii in March, and then we went to Louisville. Was that April?
Yeah, I think it was April. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know so much, maybe local travel for us.
Yeah.
Jason and I did set one for when the weather gets better. We want to go do the trolls, the hiking to go see the trolls. So we do plan on doing that. But I think we're going to try and stay more local this year. We aren't even going to Florida. That fell through with my son, so we won't be doing that this year. But just more local, try and save some money, finish working on the damn house. My God, we're in the middle of a remodel for those that don't know. We've been in the middle of this remodel for, I don't know, 6 months. So, and we just picked it up and started again last night. And yeah, I just want it to be over. We actually had a pipe break in the ceiling
Damn.
in the attic. So, no
Who
choice
puts
but to
pipes?
do it.
Who puts?
It's like the pipe that goes into the AC whatever thingy is up there, and it didn't break. What happened is like it's PVC pipe. So, when you put PVC pipe together, there's a primer and a glue
Yeah.
that you're supposed to use. Okay, well this didn't have anything. And like it just
So it was the drain for the air
yeah,
conditioner,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they
And it
didn't
just
glue it together.
yeah, and it just disconnected. Well, we didn't know that, obviously. And then on Christmas Day, Jaden was going upstairs and Jaden says, Dad. And next thing you know, I see Jason coming in the house with the ladder going upstairs. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, there's a pipe broken. And I'm like, what? So, not too much damage. It had
Yeah.
been leaking for a few days. So, everything up there was kind of wet and that kind of stuff. It's all dried out now, but the drywall warped.
Yeah.
So we are going to have to replace the drywall. And it was on the ceiling that I already painted, so I'm pissed off about that. But
Yeah. We know how you fared after painting that ceiling.
dude,
Paint all
God,
over you.
that was rough. Painting up, listen, this motion is
Yeah.
not for the weak, okay? Not for the weak.
Yeah.
But so finish that and just stay local. I think, I'm like you. I want to be more consistent in my mindset and not let things derail me and snap out of it faster. Not necessarily snap out of it, but you know what I mean? Like pull myself out faster instead of letting it go for so many days. And
I mean, it basically is snapping out of it because it's like, okay, the situation happened. What can you do about it?
right,
And
right.
not let it like eat your lunch, for
Yeah.
more than 5 minutes at the most.
Dude, that seems like nothing. 5 minutes? I'm going to need a couple hours or so.
No,
Just kidding.
you can do five. I mean, there's only one situation in my life that's like eats my lunch for more than like 5 minutes, and that's we've talked about my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just like seems to marinate and fester.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still unblocked. I haven't talked to her since months ago. So
Yeah. I mean, do you feel like your mental health is better though because of that?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I
You know what
still
it is?
find myself thinking about her. Like,
Oh my God, I
I
hope
mean,
so. She's your mom.
she doesn't celebrate Christmas or whatever. So I thought about her on like Christmas and New Year's and had a slight bit of guilt, a little bit, but it quickly went away. So,
Yeah.
and I hadn't talked to my dad in probably several months. So I called him, found out he doesn't like to tell me his health problems.
Dude, what is that? What is that with parents?
I don't know.
My dad does the same thing.
Yeah,
Well, I'm fine. I'm good. 2 months
well,
later. Oh, I can't see. Good. Okay.
he tells my older sister because she's a nurse, but yeah, he doesn't think that he needs to tell me.
Yeah.
But he's got a faulty heart valve, so he's got to go in and get his heart valve replaced.
Wow.
And
That's a major, major surgery too. Yeah.
he's not in the best health at all. So, like, I'm not too sure that he would probably make it through that surgery, but they're going to do it. It's crazy, though, that he's had like three primary care physicians and all three of them missed it. And he just happened to have a doctor's appointment with a visiting nurse who's the one that caught it.
I want to tell you I'm shocked, but that would be a lie.
I'm not, no, right?
Yeah. And that's sad. I mean, that speaks volumes for our medical situation in the United States, but yeah.
Well, I mean, his primary care doctors, it's obvious that they don't, they're so overbooked with so many people seeing them
Mm-hmm.
that they don't slow down and take the time and listen
Yeah.
to the patient's concerns to
Yeah.
like be able to diagnose people with issues. So,
Right.
I
That's
mean,
scary. I'm sorry
yeah,
to hear that, Aaron. I didn't know that. That's not no bueno.
yeah.
Send some
So,
prayers up for your dad.
yeah, right.
That's not good news.
No,
Yeah. I think it's a protective thing that parents do when they don't tell us, especially you.
yeah,
You're the baby
yeah,
of your family. And with my dad, I'm the only one. I mean, I have a brother, but, he's kind of got his own thing going on. So my dad waits till like it's like devastating and then decide like when he has no other choice, you know. In the last phone call, one of the phone call, I need to update all your information. So if something happens to me, I'm sorry, what? Like start over.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm
no
gonna
good.
have to go over there. Me and my sister bought him a license for doing a living will and all
Mm-hmm.
that paperwork stuff
Mm-hmm.
over a year ago, and he never completed it, and the license ran out. So, and he can't see, so I'm gonna have to go over there and again and do all the paperwork again because we already did it, but the license ran out and it didn't save the
Mm, yeah,
stuff. So,
yeah. Well, I'll be praying for him. That's not good.
yeah,
It definitely, for me, like when my dad first started having issues with his vision and stuff, like it was really hard for me because, like, my dad, in my eyes, is like Superman.
yeah,
So to hear that, he's having medical anything, like it took me a minute to wrap my brain around that. And I couldn't, even now, like sometimes I'm like, what do you mean? You can't do what? Like, so yeah, that's that's hard. That's hard.
yeah,
And it's hard on my dad because my dad is so used to being super independent and he still is, but like, he loved to drive and he can't drive as far anymore because he can't see very well. Yeah, that takes a toll for sure. For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, my dad can't drive no more. He can't see. He can hardly hear. And we sold his van a couple years ago.
How old is your dad?
Let's say 68 or something like that.
Oh, he's close to my dad's age. Yeah. I think my dad is 66, 67, something like that.
That might be my dad's age. Like we don't sell.
Yeah.
They don't really celebrate birthdays. I have his birthday on my phone, but I don't know what year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. What
but
else we got for the new year? What else we got? Let me think. Travel local.
you know, I'll be moving.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a room? We'll have a roommate now. We'll probably do some local traveling.
That'll be fun though. Like there's
Yeah,
so much in Washington that I haven't seen, and I've been
yeah,
here for
right.
what, 12 years? So,
I mean, I've
there's
lived
still,
here all my life except for 2 years in California. So
yeah.
I still don't know. I still haven't been to a ton of places.
And listen, the winter time sucks here. Let's be for real. The
Yeah,
winters suck, but the summer, you cannot beat the summers.
right.
Stays light outside till 11 o'clock at night. I'm here for it.
Yeah,
So, and the weather's perfect. It doesn't get hot enough for me, but I'll take it. But yeah, I love the summertime.
yeah,
So the days are getting longer, y'all. For those of us that live for the summer, we're almost there.
right.
A few more months, hang in there.
We haven't even made it through winter yet.
Yeah, but the winter solstice happened. So the
Yeah,
shortest day of the year has came and gone. We are now getting daylight back. Thank the Lord. So
right. Wonder if
that's
it's even going to snow this year.
why would you even say the S word out loud? Oh my God. What the hell?
I love snow for like 1 or 2 days. That's about it.
He's joking. He's joking. Whoever's
I'm not.
listening, he's joking.
I
Dude,
do love it.
no.
It's so peaceful. Like when it's snowing and there's snow on the ground, it's so quiet and
Yeah,
peaceful.
everything's super quiet. I will agree. Yep, I
You
agree.
know,
Everything's super quiet. It's really pretty to look at from inside a warm house. But other than that, there's no point for it. None.
if y'all don't know, she hates the cold.
Hate is a understatement.
She gets mad when it's like freezing out when we go for walks.
I still show up though. I just want to point that out.
You do.
Although I didn't tell you, JJ, my son, got me. It's a hand warmer. So you put a battery pack in it. It's got a little
Hmm.
a power bank. You charge it, and it's like this little pouch, almost like a fanny pack, but you put your hands in there. It keeps your
Nice.
hands warm. I was like, good job, son. Good job.
I'd like to see you run with that though.
No, because that would be boobs first on the ground. Not face, but boobs.
It's like awkward when you're jogging. You got to like move the arms
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So like trying to keep them in a pouch in front of you.
When I'm
No
running, though, I'm
bueno.
not that cold. If I'm running, I'm not cold.
Yeah,
I get kind of chilly walking, but running, all the feeling leaves my body. So
yeah.
cold is not an issue.
Right.
So, yeah, I just am excited for the new year. I'm excited for, the what's going to come, and we don't even know what's going to come, and I know I'm grounded in the fact that we'll get through it. Whatever it is, good, bad,
Yeah.
ugly, we'll get through it. And I
Right.
didn't always feel that way before. So, I am super grateful for that.
Progress.
Right? Look at me.
Yeah. I know,
That's what
right?
I'm saying.
That's so awesome. Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
If you have goals or, things that you need support with, or, you know, you need some cheerleaders, reach out. Let us know. We're here for it. You need resources, we got those. You know, our goal is to make sure that everybody, gets connected to the resources that they need, and just know that you're not alone. Like, literally, you're not alone. Message either one of us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can and get you connected with whatever it is that you need. And, you know, find the answers. And if we can't find them, we know somebody that can. So don't ever feel like you're alone. It's a new year. Endless opportunities, y'all. Endless opportunities. It will be as great as you want it to be. It will be as great as you make it be. And that's all. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm excited.
shit's still going to happen. It's just a matter of how we choose
Yep.
to deal with it, you know?
Yep.
And that's
Prime
key,
example today, work.
right? I was leaving, my boss sent out like a report of like how many tickets we had this year and like who the top hotels were that submitted the most tickets. And the top 5 in that list before we took on the new hotels was the hotel I work at on Thursday or on Tuesday and Thursday. And I took it to the GM and I was like, hey, you guys made the top 5 on how many tickets you guys submitted. They were like number 5.
Mm-hmm.
So they were the lowest of the 5. But he's like, nice. And so I was getting ready to leave today and he said, he was asking some of the other office people, like, what's your favorite melon? And he asked me, and I was like, watermelon. He's like, okay. And I said, so what's yours? And he's like, oh, it doesn't work that way. I'm asking the questions. And I was like, no,
Hey.
what's your favorite melon? And he said, he started walking away and he said, watermelon. And he's like, oh, in this new year, we're going to have to be submitting more tickets. And I was like, no, you don't. That just means that I'm doing my job and there's not that much going on.
Right.
So yeah, it
That's
was pretty
funny.
funny. Yeah. I was like, no, no, you ain't got to submit more tickets.
Right? We got
If
to
it
keep
ain't broke,
Aaron busy.
don't fuck with it.
Right? That part. Bro, for real.
Yeah,
Serious. Yeah, I think this is, and listen, at work too, like not just in our own personal lives, but you got to think like the new year is a reset for businesses too. So I know in my company, there's going to be a lot of changes taking place over the next few months. Some will involve me, some will not. So we'll, yeah, stay tuned for that. I have already started. It is what it is. Let go, let God. God grant me this. I have already started because if I
right.
let myself, I will freaking go down that rabbit hole and be stressed out about it. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And that's the way that it's supposed to happen. And as hard
100%.
as that is, even for me to believe sometimes, I just have to trust that it's happening for me and not to me. And whatever the universe sees in store for me, that's going to happen. So, yeah. Look
Worry
at me
about what you,
growing.
that's good. I always like to say and I apply it to myself, is worry about what you can control, not what you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. And that's huge. That is huge. It sounds like such a simple phrase, but the action is way more difficult for me, especially. I am definitely someone that likes to be in control, especially at work. So we're working on that. Shut up, Aaron. See?
E? Yeah.
No, I'm excited, friend. I think we're going to have a fantastic year. I think we're going to keep helping people and keep relating to people and connecting with people. And listen, I'm here for it. Like that to me that makes me warm and fuzzy. That
Right.
makes my little heart
Warm and
just
fuzzy.
warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a great year. I mean,
Yeah,
it's all up to us what we do with it.
facts. Big, big facts.
Yep.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Like we said, if you need anything, reach out. You need cheerleaders, listen. Woo! Rah! All the things. I can do all that.
Pom-poms and all.
Yep. I have to go buy them from the dollar store, but I will get them
Yeah.
if you need them. So,
So,
yeah. And truth and honesty. Like, if you need some truth and you need some honest feedback, we'll give it to you. If nothing else, we got that.
I'm always happy to put a foot up somebody's ass.
He's not lying. He's not lying. So, all right, friend, that's all I got.
Yeah, same here. Thanks all for listening. See you next time.
Adios.
Peace. Please like and subscribe and share, and don't be afraid to reach out to us with feedback and topic ideas. We are here to offer hope to everyone, and we cannot do it without you. Until next time, I'm Aaron.
I'm Tab.
And this is the Friendship Frequency. This is who we are, and this is what we do. Have a good night. Peace.
Good night.